Hey guys, welcome to Footy Banter and Insights. Uh, I know it's a bit cliche, but a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And this is why a few friends have gathered to kind of, you know, express ourselves a little bit more. So just giving a brief about us. So my name is Yuvraj. I have been following European football for the past 25 years, and uh, meet Varun. Varun and I go way back. Like we've been friends since literally 5 years old, and he's a huge Arsenal fan, as you can see from his jersey. And I'm a huge Chelsea fan, but somehow that has not affected our equation so far. Maybe it'll change in the future, but so far, luckily, touch wood, we are on track. And we have Rahul and Ishan with us. So Rahul is one of the biggest Man United fans that I have come across. And growing up in India, wherein at one point of time, 9 out of 10 people who knew football were Man United fans. But I think Rahul actually follows United very closely. And I think he can share a couple of his big fanboy stories as well. And unfortunately, I'd like to introduce you Ishan as well. Ishan has recently started. He has recently started following football in Chelsea, and that has actually coincided with Chelsea's downfall. So he has a specific jinx on whichever team he follows. But let's hope this jinx can change over a period of time now. So the objective that we had was like we are very passionate football fans, and we've been following most football games across the EPL and other European championships. But we thought let's begin in one place, and we'll start off with a focus on the English Premier League. And so today we'll be starting to talk about the most interesting part of the off season, which is transfers. So what we want to do is we'll start off with discussing which was the best transfer in the EPL last season. And then we will take the traditional top six teams and we will go team by team and we'll discuss which teams have actually improved their squad and which teams' players' departures are actually going to hurt them a lot. So let's begin, shall we? So we'll start with Varun. Varun, welcome to Footy Banter and Insights. How are you doing?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. Looking forward to this, our first episode of Footy Banter and Insights. Um, yeah, my player for last season was Declan Rice. I think when we signed him for 100 odd million, I didn't expect him to be that pivotal in our season as he turned out to be. And especially with like previous signings like Pepe, where we had paid 70 million plus, it was a big gamble, I think, according to our part, to pay that much. But I think Arteta got the best out of him, and especially with players like Partey in the midfield, who are usually very injury prone, we needed that stability um, in front of Saliba and Gabriel. And actually, Declan Rice provided that very well to us. And the good thing was he actually contributed with the goals as well, right, at some crucial points. So I think for me, the signing of the season, I mean, of course, there's a little bias here being an Arsenal fan, but I think it was Declan Rice.
That's fair. That's fair. So to remove any bias, Rahul, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because there have been, I think, so quite a few 100 million signings, and probably only Declan Rice is amongst one of them, which no one has discussed his value. Everyone of the other signings, कहीं ना कहीं वो value comes up like as a barrier to it. But Declan Rice, the value has been agreed upon, and everyone is fine with it because he's actually been transformative for Arsenal. And from a team which was already second, probably not the progress उस हिसाब से, but pretty solid. I believe he was the signing of the year last season.
Completely agree. And Ishan, what's your view?
So if I look at world football, I think the most influential signing was for me was Jude Bellingham. He was
Oh, fair
supposed
enough.
to be making it big, like Birmingham City reserved the jersey number for him. At the age of 16, he moved to Dortmund, developed there for two or three seasons over there, played with likes of Haaland. and then moved to Madrid on a big transfer. And in the first season of La Liga, he becomes the player of the season. So moving to a new country, new club with high expectations on a big transfer fee and being the player of the season is something which is tremendous, like commendable. I think scoring 19 goals and assists in the first season of his La Liga. I believe player of the season, especially like obviously the player skills and all matter a lot, and the players integration in the team, the plan around the player. So manager's role comes a lot into play. So kudos to Ancelotti how he made the diamond formation and made the team play around Jude Bellingham, which allowed him to thrive, and obviously led to Madrid winning the La Liga, and he contributed well in the Champions League as well. So I think there are very few players who will improve Real Madrid as a team, and definitely Jude Bellingham impressed us in his first season. So if I want to talk about Cole Palmer, Premier League, I think Cole Palmer was the most underrated signing and nobody knew much about him except for one or two goals he scored in the Community Shield and the UEFA Super Cup, where it led Manchester City to win the Super Cup, and then thereby they lost in penalties against Liverpool. But Cole Palmer has to be one of them. Nobody knew about him thanks to Joe Shields, who was earlier a part of Man City, and then he moved to Southampton, and then eventually to Chelsea, who spotted this boy. Very underrated signing for like 40 million pounds. And I feel the kind of influence, had it not been for him, we would have finished in the second half of the table. So Cole Palmer, I feel, and especially being available every time, not getting injured, which has been a pretty bad problem for Chelsea. Like having good players but not being available is the biggest issue right now. So Cole Palmer, if he continues without injuries, I think he can be a big star, and he has been recently awarded with a new contract. So happy to see that the club is awarding uh, the performances in a good way, which is going to set a good precedent for other players as well. Uh, I think Cole Palmer has to be the face of Chelsea if he plays like this and just sticks to what he's doing. Being unpredictable is his best quality. Like there's nothing so mad about his game, like not mad pace or anything, but just being unpredictable is his biggest skill set. So I would say Cole Palmer.
And I think I would echo in on that and say that yes, I would agree with the latter for sure. Because like Ishan said, like I think when he was signed, uh, we were happy, but it wasn't something groundbreaking. We were like, chalo, let's see this kid in action. And then someone who's just started off in first team football to become the lead person in a team like Chelsea, I think it was amazingly impressive. And like giving him a 9-year contract now again, it's a huge deal. And I think Chelsea is the only one which gives out such long contracts. So let's hope his desire continues to be there and it doesn't wane. But yeah, I completely agree with that as well.
But on lighter note, I
Uh,
don't think so. Chelsea signing should be considered. If you sign 100, one of them has to be success, right?
Fair enough. A spray and play approach. I can understand that. Varun, I think you're on mute.
I was saying that it was actually a big surprise that Man City let him go. Like I really felt that coming from the academy, he was a very very bright prospect, right? And especially the kind of game he had against Arsenal in the Community Shield last year, where he scored that won the goal. I mean, I
Beautiful
was
goal, right?
really really surprised that actually
Yeah.
Man City let him go to Chelsea. I think
So
that
two things here. One
biggest
is I don't think Chelsea is considered a rival, right? That was one of the reasons.
um,
No, if you look at the video which was shot, he later he confirmed that he didn't want to leave City. So it was him wanting to play a lot more, and he wanted to go out on a loan and be ready for the next season. But that was refused by City as they had let go Riyad Mahrez to Saudi Arabia. So Pep was reluctant, and then eventually they had to give in to his request because he wanted to play. So Chelsea came in with Joe Shield's influence. We came in at the end moment, and maybe he must have taken an impulse call, and it worked really well for him. He would have never have been the poster boy for a club like Man City ever, like with the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland, Rodri, Phil Foden. I think the kind of stature he can have in a club like Chelsea, it will do wonders for him. I would any day prefer playing over not playing and being in a good club. So I think I can get what Cole Palmer was thinking about, and especially there was an England under 23 team which had won the World Cup for them. So there he really shined through, and I think Chelsea made up their mind that they would want to go for it.
No. Fair call for him. He's done well with Chelsea and remarkably so, and surprisingly so, as you said. Like, now he's like the star player in the team.
Definitely,
So,
definitely.
I mean,
Apparently, he's the Kai Havertz we wanted.
He's the Kai Havertz we thought we signed.
Oh my God. You guys dumped Kai Havertz on us, man, and went ahead and signed Cole Palmer.
I think it's a very polarizing view here. But okay, we'll discuss that some other episode.
Actually, Kai Havertz can be the third signing of Premier League last season. If you think about it, the kind of influence he has had. Nobody expected. Every Arsenal fan was again very reluctant to have him. The amount of money he was signed for, 65 million pounds, plus the crazy wage, I think 300k plus wage. Every fan was cursing how we have signed this guy. But again, like I said, the manager's plan for the player and the kind of integration the player requires is very key. And then that was very much shown in Kai Havertz's transfer and the way the season played out for him.
Yeah, I think the expectation from him was rock bottom. So of course there was only one way. There was only one way from there. I mean, it couldn't have gone. It couldn't have gone.
As a
good.
Chelsea fan, I was very happy that we got rid of him.
No. I will disagree with that. I think okay. So again, I'll take 1 minute for this. We signed him from Leverkusen. He was brought because of Frank Lampard's influence, and the first game he played, he actually played as a number 6, number 8 combination, and it didn't work at all. It was in the Carabao Cup. Over the season, we started to see some flashes of brilliance, and it didn't translate into much. But if I look at what Havertz is good at, it's appreciation of space. On the pitch, he creates space for so many players around him. Now, in a club like Arsenal, which is all about fast ball movement, interplay between players, I think he can be the kind of Thomas Muller kind of person which has dominated German football, right? So if you put Havertz in that center forward or a false 9 position, and you have players playing around him, he will create so much of space for the likes of Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, even the likes of some midfielders, that the game becomes more fluid. And I think if you see this season as well, I think last season he developed as the season grew on. And I think this season, next season, I think we'll see the best of Havertz at Arsenal. Unfortunately, I think these guys got a bargain deal from Chelsea. Minimum
No.
£100 million player. Only time will tell. Let's see.
Cutting the loss is
This
a
is
good strategy, Yui.
this is rubbing salt in the wound.
Okay, so chalo, let's get into the second
I want to
topic
add
for
one
the
more
day.
thing. Sorry.
Please go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it to you the other day. The trend that is going on in Premier League right now is that the managers are seeking for more versatile players who can play in
Mm.
multiple positions. Even if they start in one position, they can go to the other and then adapt to the team's formation. I think Kai Havertz is one versatile player who can play in multiple positions. He can play on the right wing, he can play as a false 9, he can play as a 10, an 8. So that gives a lot of flexibility to the manager. Same with Cole Palmer. He can
True.
play as a 10, he can play on the right wing, he can play as a false 9. Again, Declan Rice, everyone thought he can play, he's a 6. but he in some games he was a number 8 also. So any player who wants to thrive in Premier League, the current trend is he has to be versatile, and
No, no,
it
for
can't
sure,
Fair
for
be
point.
sure.
position specific. There are very few players like Haaland who is very position specific, but he will do well because he has service of other players. But now times have gone wherein we can't you know stick to one. The players can't stick to one position.
You
No, no,
can't be a
that
one-horse
was,
pony anymore.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You need
yeah,
to be a versatile player because a lot of
correct.
managers, like even Pep or even Arteta, they keep changing their tactics so frequently. Like you see centre backs playing full backs these days under Guardiola as well,
100%.
right? So you need that kind of flexibility in your gameplay to adapt to different positions, basically. And that's actually
Even
a
centre backs
good
are
point.
turning into pivots. They are turning
True.
Yeah,
into six sometimes.
Yeah. Fullbacks coming and playing as center midfield or
100%.
inverted.
yeah, inverted
Yeah,
center
Even
midfield.
goalkeepers want goalkeepers to be a part of their build-up, right?
defense. Yeah, Enzo
So times are
Maresca's
changing.
tactics are coming along now.
Yeah, the ideas are good. The integration is and the execution is going to be key.
Yeah.